Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You're welcome to Habibi Ramadan HR4. On the show today, we're talking about my absolute favorite topic, faith and fashion. I am Oyin Kosala.
I'm Zara. And I'm Camila.
Before we delve into the topic, the Imam is going to talk to us about the power of dua. We can transform our lives with dua. So let's go to the Imam.
Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillahi wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Making last 10 days count requires that we understand the power of dua. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who created you and I, one of his most important attributes and names is As-Samad, the Lord that everybody depends on and he depends on none. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala want you and I as a servant to call unto him anytime. When the verses of fasting is recited, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us in Surah Al-Baqarah verse 186, وَإِذَا سَأَلَكَ عِبَادِ أَنِّي, when my servant ask me, Prophet Muhammad, concern me, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, say, cool, tell them, inni qareeb, I am closer to them. I answer the call of those who actually call unto me. Brothers and sisters in faith, for you to assume that you will not pray is a mark of kufr, is a mark of disbelief. Allah says in the Quran Kareem, in Surah Al-Ghafir verse 60, Allah says, Ad'uni, call unto me, astajib lakum, I will answer you. Inna alladhina yastakbiru an ibadati sayadkhulu jahannama dakhilin. For those who refuse to call unto me, I will throw them into the hellfire. May Allah save us from hellfire. So, brothers and sisters at home, distinguished viewers, it is the power of dua at this period that you need to hand, and you need to ask Allah. The dua could be made in such a way that you could get some quick grasp from getting your dua answered. And how do you do this? Just know az-zaman wal-makanu istijabat to dua. Places and time of acceptance of dua. Those are the powerful way of getting your dua accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What are those times? Very easy one is bayn al-adan wal-iqama, between an adan and iqama. Most of you will be watching TV, watching matches or World Cup. These are times when you need to stretch your hands to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, playing until you hear the iqama. Between adhan, when the muazzin will make the first call, and the iqama, when the salah is about to start, is a period of acceptance of dua. Again, one of the periods that you can earn Allah's reward is during the last 10 days of Ramadan. It is a period of acceptance of dua. Again, one of the periods you can earn Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's acceptance of dua is when you are in your sujood. You are closer to your Lord. You are closest to your Lord when you are in the sujood. For those who are fortunate to perform Umrah in that house of Allah, it is a place and where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will accept your dua. So all these are periods where you can answer. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can answer your dua. Again, ba'da salah, immediately after you say your taslim, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. All your sins you have done between the former salat and the immediate one will be forgiven. At that period is the period where you need to continuously ask Allah what you require. Please don't just leave the mosque abruptly, trying to run around. I'm going. Sit down and ask Allah what you are looking for. And ultimately, during the Qiyamul Layl, this is when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will descend unto you, unto the earthly heavens, and will be asking, who are those who are looking for my favor? I want to grant them. Who are those who want my sustenance? I want to grant them. Who are those who want my mercy? I want to grant them. Who are those who want my favor and my assistance? I want to grant them. But the Prophet of Islam, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, told us most men will be sleeping at this time. For those who want to hand the power of dua, you need to seek for Allah's blessings at this time. Finally, my brothers and sisters in faith, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants you at this period to do a lot of dua. One of the ways you can hand your dua to be really accepted is for you to be good to your parents. Goodness to parents here will make you to get your dua easily accepted. And when you do sadaqah to people, you will get your reward accepted, your dua accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. My brothers and sisters in faith, the Prophet said, ad-du'ahu muqlul ibadah. The dua is what? The brain of worship. We pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, make you and I to remember all the things we are going to look for from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to supplicate to Him. Again, we ask Allah, we beseech Him, all the dua we have been doing from the beginning of Ramadan. We pray Allah accept it from us and grant it unto us. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Welcome back to the Countdown Show. I hope you benefited from that fantastic reminder. This is a month of dua, guys. May Allah accept our dua. May Allah accept our duas. Do you have any favorite duas that you have been saying this past month of Ramadan?
So I've been focusing on the name of Allah, Ar-Rashid, because in the month of Ramadan I seek guidance, a lot of guidance, and life is happening and I really need to rely solely on Allah. So Ya Rashid continuously. That has been it for me this Ramadan.
What about you, Kamala?
I think it's the same dua I've had, Rabbi Hamwa Kama Rabbayan Sagir. It's a dua for the parents, just saying, oh, Ya Allah, bless my parents, take care of them as they've taken care of me when I was younger. It's something I always like, so it comes to me naturally, really.
I think for me it's been Allahumma atini sultanic. Allah just give me strength. Because sometimes, you know, we struggle with everything that's going on in life, be it family, work, business,
just
whatever it is. Yes, existing, striving, but, you know, seeking strength from Allah and seeking that reassurance and from Him. It's so important. So may Allah grant us strength. May Allah accept all of our du'as this month. Forgive us our sins and overlook our shortcomings. Now, let us join Jamila in the kitchen as she cooks up something really yummy for iftar. Stay with us.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. As we all know, food plays a very important part of Ramadan. In different cultures and traditions, there are certain foods that could never be missed in Ramadan. Today, I'll be making one of such foods. I'm Jamila. Welcome to Jamila's Diary. Welcome back. In almost every part of Nigeria, it's actually impossible to go through the whole 29 or 30 days of Ramadan without having moi moi or alala, as we call it in northern Nigeria. So today I'll be making alala and kunun gyada. Now it's impossible to go through the 30 days of Ramadan without having kunu. So kunu is usually a warm drink taken for breakfast and usually in the month of Ramadan. So we have all kinds of kunu, all kinds of warm drinks. So we'll have kunun gyada. So for my kunun gyada, I'll be needing some groundnut milk. So I had some groundnuts, which has been washed, the back taken off, and then soaked, blended and sieved out the groundnut milk. Some short grain rice for my kunun gyada. So I've got some lime juice here that I'm going to use to flavor my kunun gyada. Now I've got some beans, which has been soaked and dehusked. I'm going to blend it for my alala, my tatase, the tarugu, the albasa. I've got some ginger and garlic here, also for my alala. I've got some tuna fish, some canned tuna fish, some palm oil for my alala, and of course, my Maggi star. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and blend my mix for my alala now. So I'm gonna do this in batches. Some beans in. Okay, tarugu, the albasa. Blend in inshi. Okay, and I'll add my ginger and garlic. So it's like a tafarnuwa, the chitana, dan kawai. All right, so just gonna add some more flavor, extra flavor to my alala. So now I'm just gonna add a little bit of water so I can blend it. Okay, this is fine. Yeah. My beans has been blended already, so I'm just gonna add my ingredients now. I'll start by adding my Maggi star, of course. So what I like to do is to actually melt this in warm water so you don't chew on them when you're eating your alala. So I want it melted and it just goes in smoothly. Okay. So the warm water, adding the warm water to my mix also gives it a very fluffy and smooth texture. Just gonna add this liquid and now leave the rest for the other batch. Okay, this is nice, smooth. So now to my tuna. I'm also gonna use some and leave the rest for the other batch. A little bit more, good. Just gonna bring this together and then I'll add some palm oil, but you can use vegetable oil if you want. I'm gonna add some palm oil and then wrap it up. Okay. Okay. All right. So you want to mix this thoroughly, because you don't want your alala going one way and your palm oil going another way. So you really want to take your time and blend this thoroughly. I don't know why sometimes it's just so difficult to choose, you know. Sometimes you want the one with the palm oil, sometimes you want the one with the vegetable oil. When it comes to food, you can never be certain. Today you have this preference, tomorrow it's the other one. But they all have different flavors, so it's good. Variety is the order of the day. So now I'm gonna heat up my pot before I start wrapping my alala. People use different kind of containers to steam their alala. I already have some water added to my pot that I'm going to use to steam my alala. So now it's time to do the wrap. Okay. So you want to get your banana leaves and then fold them up. Okay. All right, so this is nice and good. So I'm just going to scoop some in it. All right. You want to make sure you put the folded parts down. Okay. When we come back, I'll be ready to make my kunun geda. All right, so my alala is already steaming. So now it's time for me to make my kunun geda. So the first thing I'm going to do is to heat up my groundnut milk. So like I said, you can use fresh groundnuts for this. If you have dry ones, you can toast them, take off the peel, soak them in water, blend them. Same as the fresh ones. You blend them with some water and then sieve to get your milk. Some other people use groundnut paste for their kunu. So I'm just gonna let this come to a boil. Once it boils, I'm gonna add my rice and allow it to boil until it thickens. Okay, it's boiling already. So, and you want to pay attention to this so it doesn't boil over. And the good thing about kunun geda is you just need very little rice and then it thickens. Because the groundnut is thick already, so you just let it thicken gradually. Yeah, so make sure you watch over so it doesn't boil over. It's so easy to boil over. And kunun gyada is just so delicious and so creamy. It fills you up really quickly. I love to take it even for sahur. Like when I wake up and I still have leftover kunun gyada, I run to it first. Okay, so it's boiling over, so I'm gonna lower the heat and let it cook gently. Okay. When we're back, my kunun gyada and alala will be ready to serve. My kunun gyada and alala is ready. This is like the ultimate iftar meal. I can't imagine a Ramadan without alala, the kunun gyada. All right, so I'm just gonna give my kunun gyada. All right then, so I'm just gonna add a dash of lemon juice to my kunun gyada. You can sweeten your kunun gyada with whatever you choose, sugar, honey. All right. Can't wait to have a taste of this. Bismillah. Just the way I like it. So delicious. Jazakallah khair for watching today's episode of Jamila's Diary. Don't forget to join me again tomorrow, same time, inshallah, for another interesting episode of Jamila's Diary. Remember to follow us on our social media pages at Maggie_Nigeria on Instagram and at Maggie Nigeria on Facebook. Assalamu alaikum.
Welcome back to the Countdown Show. Now let's get into the main topic.
Let's
of
do
the day.
it. Let's do it.
And fashion.
I
When-
need to sit well for this.
When I say faith and fashion, what comes to mind? Like, does it sound like something exclusive of each other? Did it sound exclusive of each other, or did it sound like things that go together? What comes to mind?
Who wants to go first?
Well, I would like to just mention, when you say faith and fashion, it's something with which nowadays, you can't even go and write that anywhere because you'll be jumped upon.
Yeah.
I remember putting up something very similar. Faith, fashion, lifestyle. That word fashion, it can really, it's very divisive. People immediately jump and say, hijab is not about fashion.
Yes.
It's a commandment of Allah. But I think that it doesn't take away from the fact that, for me, when I think about fashion, I think about the fact that Islam is not one color or one people. Islam brings in nations all over the world, diverse, different traditions, different backgrounds. And what's beautiful about Islam is that we have guidelines, but there isn't this prescribed, you must wear this color, it must be cut like this. And so it leaves room for us to look at me now.
Ourselves.
I have something on Ankara fabric, and this is what is normal for the environment that I'm in, if that makes sense. So we still have to think about the fact that different cultures have different dress codes and dress styles. Now, how do we make sure that this dress code of my people is in alignment with my faith? And I think that's where that synergy between faith and fashion comes in, and why it's such an important topic to discuss.
Some people feel that fashion, if you're a person of faith, say you're Muslim, you're clearly wearing hijab, you shouldn't be thinking about anything fashion. Like, you should be, you're wearing the hijab, it doesn't need to be fashionable. Like, that's going outside, that's going extra. How do you feel about that?
I definitely do not agree with that, because what I do is faith and fashion. And as Muslim women, we have guidelines. As long as you know the guidelines, as long as you adhere to the guidelines, you are fine. So I feel like the confusion comes in when you don't know.
Yes.
You don't know what is expected of you as a Muslim woman. You are hearing from A, you are hearing from B and C, and you're like, what am I meant to do? So it all comes down to seeking knowledge again and again. First and foremost, we are human beings. And then we have our creative sides. We want to express ourselves. Even the women that use the face veil, women that wear even one color, they express themselves in some ways. It might be their sneakers, it might be their bags, it might even be the choice of hijab pin. That expression comes out.
Or the style of niqab that they would wear.
The choice of fabric.
The personal decision.
So you see, you show creativity in some way. It might not be the way Camilla chooses to show her creativity, but you do it in your way. So it's not, as long as we know the guidelines and we are sincere and we know why we're doing it. So the confusion comes in when fashion begins to override faith.
I think that's what we're seeing nowadays.
Yes.
We're seeing this emphasis on the fashion, what I'm wearing.
You have to look good.
You have to look good.
If you don't look good.
Instagram generation.
Yes, you know, we have everything, we have to be online.
So before you adopt the hijab or dressing as a Muslim woman, first and foremost, you must be on point, aka slay. Right? So that's it. You must slay first. If that slay is not there, wait. Get it in order, then you can now choose the hijab. That is where the problem is.
That's where the problem is.
That is where the problem is.
So I think that's where it kind of comes back to, let's understand why we wear the hijab as Muslim women in the first place. And
so which is what Camilla said about sincerity.
Yes. Let's understand why we're wearing it. Let's remember that it's a commandment of Allah first and foremost, and it's an act of submission to Him. And when we go out, something that my friend used to say to us, look at yourself and say, would Allah be pleased with me in this outfit that I'm wearing, or am I doing it for the attention of the people? And edit yourself through that means. I think that's so
I like what you said about, am I doing it for the attention of people? Because now, you talked about Instagram, social media generally. You do things for the attention. So it's now more about, what do people think? What are they saying about me? As opposed to, is Allah pleased with how I look? Because at the end of the day, when it comes down to what is most important, it's not the color of your veil. It's that you are veiled. It's not the color of your abaya, it's that you are covered. Everything else is secondary. Everything else is a form of expression. So if you can't express yourself the way you want to, you can decide to try to find means and ways, but don't do it at the detriment of the main reason why you adopted the hijab.
I think something to just mention again is, I think we continuously, as Muslim women, need to renew our intentions with regards to why we are wearing the hijab.
Very
I went through a bit of I've called it a midlife crisis. You know, but honestly, with regards to this hijab that we're wearing, and I remember some of the questions that came to my head was, you know, why do I feel more comfortable wearing a pashmina, for instance, than wearing one of those head khimars that go to my knees? You know, so am I trying to say, what is that saying about me and my relationship with it? You know, I think we need to continuously challenge ourselves and ask ourselves these questions. Why do I feel comfortable going to a business meeting like this and put a blazer on? But hey, you tell me to go to a business meeting and put on khimar down and, you know, would I feel comfortable when going like that? Why is that? Is that a reflection of my relationship with the hijab? So I think that we continuously need to keep reassessing ourselves, pushing ourselves, and always aiming for better, I think. Let us keep aiming for better, because we know that, you know, there are different stages and everyone is at their different stage, but let's not become complacent in where we are, saying, this is, you know, I'm comfortable here. Let's keep pushing ourselves to, you know, get better with regards to our level of covering, and link that to bettering and our relationship with Allah and drawing closer to Him through it.
Most important.
I think a lot of Muslims nowadays, you know, approach the fashion aspect with trying to, you know, break stereotypes, or trying to show that they can be Muslim and they can still be fashionable. Like, oh, why can't I do both? And of course, yes, you can do both. But in that, you know, quest to prove, sometimes we lose the essence of what we're doing.
Because at the end of the day, you just need to ask yourself one question.
Yes.
Who are you trying to prove
Exactly. The truth is, you don't need to prove to anybody.
You don't need to prove to anybody.
Comfortable within yourself, know what you're doing, why you're doing it. No matter how you want to express yourself, that's fine. It's, you know, it's a personal choice. There are some stylish people, and there are people who are really, they're tomboys or they're not stylish. Whether she's a Muslim or she's not a Muslim. Exactly. So people shouldn't feel like, as long as you're a Muslim, for you to be relevant or for you to be part of that, you know, it group or class, and you have to be a fashionista.
We've created a divide. So you see now there are some whole Muslim.
Yes.
So
I don't like that
even
word.
non-Muslim. I
I don't like hearing like funky alaja. or Alachaki, come on. It really gets to me.
So you see, well, that's what it is. So you see, now even within the Ummah, we have, why can't you be like her? See the way she tied her veil. Right? And I'm like,
that's her own, exactly.
Yes,
when did that become the standard?
See the way she,
when did that become the marker of what hijab
You
should
can
be?
be a Muslim woman, but look at how she's dressed. Why don't you dress like that?
And that's why we have to remember that we are role models. We are ambassadors of the deen. Faith trumps fashion. Thank you for watching the Countdown Show today. We have been your hosts, and it's been a pleasure having this discussion with you. If you would like to join in on the conversation, be sure to follow us on Twitter at HowTVAfrica, drop us a comment on Instagram at HowTVAfrica, and do subscribe on YouTube at HowTVAfrica.
Ramadan, Ramadan, Ramadan ya Habib. Ramadan, Ramadan, ليتك